We're the Helix Hackers, Team 17971, an FTC team based in Rockville, Maryland. And today we will be discussing basic programming.
Okay, so team introduction. We are basically 3 FLL teams merged into one FTC team, composing of the Tigers, Helix Hackers, and Flaming Lego Legends. We have a combined of 9+ years of experience in FLL. We've been awarded first place in qualifiers 4 times. We've qualified for MD state competition 6 times, and we've won Global Innovation Award 2 times. We've also qualified for the World Competition once. We all had so much fun in FLL, and we'd love to share that with you guys. And our goal is to inspire more kids to join and succeed in FIRST.
Our agenda for today is 2 different versions, downloading software, what is EV3 Classroom, basic blocks, a live demo in Classroom, sensor blocks, the brick, tips and tricks, challenge and answers, pseudocode, coding process, and sneak peek for next week.
So LEGO Mindstorms has 2 different software versions for coding. What we call it is the old version and the new version. Technical term for the old version, what we think is the technical term since we don't know the real technical term, is the EV3 software, and the new one is the EV3 Classroom or the LEGO Spike edition. So the old version is available on most devices and is only compatible with the EV3 brick. So EV3 Classroom is available on Mac OS and is coming soon, sometime in December, to all other devices. I'm at September. It's coming soon to all devices in September, so that every other device can program it too. So LEGO Education Spike is a completely different app from EV3 Classroom. This programs the Spike Prime brick, and this is available on most devices. This programming method is similar to Scratch. We will be teaching you the EV3 Classroom since we have an EV3 brick.
Downloading EV3 Classroom. Downloading the software is the first step to programming your EV3 brick. Currently, this is only available on Mac OS devices, but it is coming out soon on other devices for the EV3 brick only. The first step to downloading your EV3 Classroom is going to the link provided on the slideshow, or search EV3 Classroom Download on Google. Click Download and wait for it to be installed. Launch the application by clicking on EV3 Classroom icon. Again, as we previously mentioned, this is only available on devices supported by the Mac OS. Click File and press Create New Project. You can rename the project whatever you would like, and you are now ready to begin programming.
So this is downloading the LEGO Education Spike app. This is pretty much the same as EV3 Classroom. You have to first click the link, download it, and wait for it to be installed. Launch the application and click on the Spike icon. Then you want to start a new project by clicking the blank project. You just click New Project to open a blank project. Then you can rename your project, which is a good idea for easy access anywhere you go or at competition. And note that this is available on most devices, but is only compatible with Spike Prime Brick.
What is EV3 Classroom? A block programming language used to program your EV3 brick. We are focusing on EV3 Classroom because we have an EV3 brick, but the Spike Prime version is essentially the same for coding purposes. These are different categories in which coding blocks can be found under. You can see the tabs for each category in the picture below. Some types of blocks available on the EV3 Classroom is motors, movement, display, sound, events, control, sensors, operators, variables, and lastly, my block. My blocks are when you create your own block.
So these are all the movement blocks. What a movement block is moves both of your wheels. So these should be used for going straight or turning at angles. These blocks are very accurate and should be used when you're moving all the time when you're moving both wheels. As you can see, there are a lot of blocks here. So we have composed a list of blocks that we think you should use that are the most important.
Movement blocks. Movement blocks allow both wheels to move at the same time. They also help when steering the robot. To control parameters, you need to use speed. Speed is how fast the robot moves. Angle. Angle is the direction the robot moves. And lastly, distance. Distance is how far the robot moves. Variety of blocks provide every combination of parameters. Also, another important block is the stop moving block. You should place this in the end of each mission to stop all movement. This pauses your robot until it is told to move again.
Okay. So now we have a live demo on EV3 Classroom. This I'll be showing you how both wheels move in action, how to change the value of speed, distance, and angle, turning the robot when the movement blocks show, turning the robot using the movement blocks. So this is what we just mentioned. Show how it looks when everything is snapped together. So just give me a minute to get it up. So essentially, this is what it's going to look like. So first, what you want to do at the start of everything, I have my brick here. This is a basic educator bot. I have everything here with it. So all I want to do is click this connect button, go to the side, turn on your EV3 brick. I already did that. And then I click here. It wants me to go to settings because this is the first time that you do it. You want to go to Bluetooth, and then you want to turn on Bluetooth and visibility. Otherwise, no other computer will be able, nothing will be able to see your brick. And then you go to the side, and then you click on your computer, you just click connect, and then it'll start searching for. Give me a minute. Did you guys see all of that or no? Okay, I'll take that as a yes. Okay, so now you just click select, and it's selected. Now you see the value of my color sensor, my motor on each side to control both the wheels, and the media motor, which is here. So what we said we were going to discuss is moving both of the wheels. So the block that I recommend you guys use to move both is this. But what you should do before you start any program is put a set movement motor blocks to B and C. This will make it so that your movement motors will be set for the whole program. That's why we recommend you do this. And then you can go ahead and put this here. So right now it's going straight for, what's it called? 1 rotation at 50 speed. So if I run this, as you can see, both of the motors moved for 1 rotation. But you have to know, the rotation is of this motor, not the wheel. It's the motor, not the wheel. 1 rotation of the motor is way less than 1 rotation of the wheel, as the wheel is bigger. So yeah, and turning, all you have to do is change this. And I don't know if I'll be able to show you guys, but just give me 1 minute. There. So I don't know if you guys will be able to see it. So my robot is here. Now if I click download and run, it turned, but I don't think you guys saw it. It went out of the board. But I can show you next time on my phone in the next live demo. So that's pretty much it for the movement motors live demo.
Intro to motor blocks. These are all of the motor blocks mainly used for controlling your attachments using the media motor. Moving is when just one wheel makes the robot turn. This is also for media motors, which is what attachments are used for. Moving the media motor will move your attachments.
So these are the, wait, give me a minute. So these are the important motor movement blocks. So as you see on the top left, the purpose of this block is to help you change the speed of this of your medium motor or one of your motors. So what the problem with this block is that it can't stop direction, or you can't control direction, and it can't stop. Like, it never stops because you're not giving it a value like rotations, degrees, or seconds to stop. So this block will just keep going on forever and forever. So as you can see, top right is another block. So this helps you change the direction of your medium motor clockwise and counterclockwise as seen here. If you click this drop down, it'll make it counterclockwise. So you can also control the port, but this one also never stops as you're not telling it the rotation, degrees, or seconds. And you can't control the speed. So that makes it kind of not good when you're using it by itself. So now we can go to this block, the third one. This one moves your robot counterclockwise or clockwise, and it has rotations, degrees, or seconds that you can set this value to, and you can do the port. But then again, you can't control the speed. So that's not good in this block. But this block is good for everything pretty much. That's why we recommend you use this block. So this one you can control the port. This one you can control the direction, because if you make this one negative one, that makes it so that the robot motor will go backwards or counterclockwise if you make it negative one, and one will make it go clockwise. And so you can also change the rotations, degrees, or speed. And you can change the speed. I meant rotations, degrees, and seconds can be changed here, and speed can be changed here. And that's it pretty much for this one. So now we have a live demo on these motor blocks, as all these blocks can be very complicated. So I just want to show you what each motor block essentially does. Just give me a minute to set it up. Sorry about that. Okay, so this is the project that I'm going to be doing this on. So you always want this block here, otherwise it's not going to do anything. So we can put that away for right now. And then we have this here. We can put this here, or this is the one that doesn't control speed or rotations, degrees, or seconds. So we don't want to use that block. So we want to use, where is it? This block. So we can set this, since my medium motor is in the D port, I'm going to try to move my medium motor. So I'm going to set it to the D port. And one rotation, that's fine for right now. We can change it to degrees or seconds if we wanted to. And speed, 75%. I'm going to make that a little bit.
We can't hear you.
Yeah,
frozen.
there's some technical difficulties. We'll get that fixed really quick.
Okay.
Yeah, guys, we know that he is frozen. We're trying to fix it right now, so just give us a few minutes and he should come back. Again.
Yeah, guys, just give me 1 minute. Sorry about that. Okay, sorry about that, everyone. So I'll continue with this. So essentially what this is, did you guys hear me when I explained this block, or did I cut out before then?
I think you could
We heard you.
You did or did not? I heard one person.
Did.
You did? Okay, so then there's no reason to explain the block, but I can show you what it does. So give me 1 moment to do that. See, look. So when I run this program, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Okay, so when I run this program, as I had on the computer, you guys can see the screen too. So when I run this program, my medium motor, this one. This is gonna move. See how it moved? So that's pretty much what the motor blocks does. And that's pretty much it for this live demo.
Do you guys have any questions? Please type your questions on the Slido or unmute yourself and ask the question.
So the first question we have is the Lego Spike download similar to the EV3? Yeah, it's very similar. It's pretty much the same thing. It's just that one doesn't, one is compatible with the EV3 brick and the other is compatible with the Spike Prime brick.
Are there any more questions? If you don't want to type it on Slido, you can always unmute yourself and ask it, or you can raise your hand and we can unmute you. We're going to just wait here for a few more minutes to see if anyone has any more questions.
Again, guys, if you need me to review or go back since I broke out, if you need me to go back into showing you guys what the previous slides, then I can do that too. If just ask me. What if you do not have the EV3 block?
Do you mean the EV3 classroom?
You mean the EV3 brick, right? Like this, right? I don't know who asked that. If you did, yeah, brick. Okay. So if you don't have the EV3 brick, you can still code, but you won't be coding pretty much, you won't be coding anything because you're not going to be able to run your program on anything because it connects to the brick or the Spike Prime brick. If you don't have any of them, then I mean, it's really, you can still program, but you're programming just to program. You're not going to be able to
You're not going to be able to
run
run
your
it.
mission.
Yeah. But if you don't want the EV3 brick, there's always the choice of having a Spike Prime robot, which is a newer version.
How do you code for the distance and what is it measured in? Okay, so I can go back into this software. Sorry about that. Okay, so I'm gonna use a movement block as I just showed you guys the movement block a couple of slides ago. So this movement block. So you asked, how do you code for the distance? So the distance. So the distance is this, rotations, degrees, and seconds. So just give me 1 minute. I'm gonna take off the wheel here. So can everyone see my robot? Yeah, I think you can. So you see this is what is gonna move when you code this. But you're asking how do you code it? So the rotations is one rotation of that motor. So you can just change the value of this to 2, 3, 4, 5. But this is gonna depend on where you want to get your robot to on the mat. So you have to be very precise. So you can do it in decimals if you feel if that's gonna help you. I'm not sure if that answered your question, but I think that did.
We also don't recommend you code in seconds. It's not that accurate.
How do you code for the distance and what is it measured in? Yeah, I think I answered. Can the EV3 classroom program the spikes, right? It sounded like you were saying that. You were saying. Okay, so I don't know if I was, I don't know what I was trying to say, but so if we go back to this slide, the EV3 brick is only compatible with EV3 Classroom, which is what I have. But there's another version, which is this version. This is the icon. As you can see, my icon is different than this icon, but this is a completely different software. It's not completely different. It's pretty much the same, but this one is available with Spike Prime, and the one that I have is available with the EV3 brick.
In terms of like the blocks, they're like the same thing. It's just that they're different softwares and you download it different ways.
Yeah, pretty much. If that didn't clear up your question, then you can raise your hand or ask it again a little bit more specifically, please. Wait, Trey, you want to answer that?
Is there a cost difference in the kit? Yes, there is a slight cost difference.
Yeah, the cost difference is about $100. I think that's it for this question time. We can return to the slideshow. If you have any questions, you can keep asking throughout the presentation. It's
Oh,
okay. We'll
Aryan,
just, yeah.
tell them like how much the cost, like about how much the cost, like which one is cheaper and which one is more expensive.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So the cost difference is about $100 in favor of the Spike Prime kit. That is $100 cheaper than the core set of the EV3 brick. And we also recommend you buying that, as that one is the newer version. But I'm not sure what comes in each one, so I don't know if it's a better like value for the EV3 brick. But all I know is that on Lego Education's website, one of them, the Spike Prime, is $330, and the other one is $430.
And in the chat, you said the Spike one is a newer, right? Yes, the Spike one is a newer version.
Okay, so now we can continue with the slideshow. If you guys need me to go back or stay on the slide for 2 minutes or whatever, you guys can always interrupt me. I won't be offended. It's okay. How many Legos come in the kit? So that's gonna be the last question for right now. So I don't know the exact amount of Legos, but I think it's enough. It's definitely enough. One core set should definitely be enough for at least the first season, and then you can add on as you proceed if you continue.
Intro to control blocks. These are all the different types of control blocks, as you can see in the picture on the slideshow. Some examples are repeat, loop, wait, and etc.
Okay. So these are what we think are the most important control blocks. We'll start with the wait 1 second. So this pauses your robot for a set amount of seconds. This one can change 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6, or whatever you want, whatever value you want. So we recommend you use this at the start of your program to prevent drifts and jerks from happening. We also recommend you use this before your turn, because otherwise if you go straight and then immediately turn, that'll cause a drift, and that'll cause or could cause a jerk, which is very important for alignment. That can completely mess up even a little jerk. So
What's a jerk? That's what you said.
so I mean, like, not like the jerk, like the idiot jerk, but like, you know what I meant, um like when the robot. So I can show you guys, just give me a minute.
It's a pause.
It's like a jump start. That's what it is. It's like the robot lifts a little bit before you start it.
Yeah,
That's what it is. So this is gonna make it pause. Yeah. Okay, so now we have this forever loop block. So this repeats whatever is inside of this forever. So you might think this is useless, but it's actually pretty useful. So then we have this repeat for a set amount of time or seconds or times. Like what I meant is like 3 times. Whatever is going to happen inside of this loop block is going to happen for this amount of times. So if you have move for 3 rotations in here, it's going to move for 3 rotation 3 times. So it's going to be a total of 9 rotations. This is also very, very helpful. So this is the if and then block. So this is usually used for sensors, but I think this is very important. So if whatever is true, if this is true, then whatever is in this loop block will run. But if this is false, nothing is going to happen in this loop block. Whatever is coming next will just proceed from there. So this last one might be the most important one, because if you don't have this block at the end of every run, your robot will just the program will just keep running. Like nothing will happen, but your robot will keep running and it'll keep using charge, and that's not good for your robot.
Sensor programming. Why use sensors? They help you with aligning and moving your robot accurately by eliminating drift, following lines, accurate turns, distance measurements. We recommend you start with a color sensor. Sensors were really important for all of our teams, which is why we recommend you use them too. The gyro sensor is already in the Spike Prime brick, But in the EV3 brick, there is a separate gyro sensor that you will need to connect to your robot.
Okay, so next, we have color sensor programming. I know this may look complex, but it's not that hard. So we have a live demo. I will break this program up for you guys and explain to you step by step what's happening. I'll also show you how to download your programs onto your brick. So let's go into the software. So what we have there is we have a wait block at the start. So you always want this.
Question. When can you use the forever loop block?
I'll show you that right now. Just give me 2 minutes.
Okay.
This is going to be used just right now. So essentially at the start of every program, I'm going to reset all the motors that I'm going to be using. Every single time I'm going to do that. So then I have a wait for 1 second so that it doesn't jerk at the start. And then I use the movement block. Where'd it go? This one. Not this one, because that'll just go for a certain amount of rotations. But I want it to go for until it detects a black line is what that program is doing. So if you start moving straight at 50 speed, it's just going to keep going because you can't control the amount of time that it's going for. So it's just going to keep going, which I want because I want it to stop at a certain point. So then we have the forever block. So now we're going to use a forever block. This is used because we want the robot to run forever until it detects a black line. So that's really important. So now we're going to use an if and then block inside of this. If you have any questions, you can raise your hand or unmute yourself and just start talking right now if you have any questions.
You have to put the if and then block inside the forever block.
Good question. So you do have to put the if and then block because if you just put because you can't put a color sensor block inside of here. So you have to put the if and then block so that the color sensor will stop the program after you after it detects black. I'll show you this. Just give me
Why
2
do you have to put the if and then block inside the forever block? Can't you just like put the if and then block by itself?
Oh, yeah. Okay, sorry. I didn't understand that question. Because, so if I just put the if and then block, I'm not telling anything to move right now. I'm just saying if so this is saying if this port detects red, then stop moving. But that's not good because now there's nothing moving. There's nothing moving. This makes it so that your program inside of here moves forever until this is true. Does that answer your question or no?
Yeah.
If it's a little confusing, I can show you guys how this works even more if that's a little confusing. Is that confusing to you?
No, I understand now.
Okay. So why I put this like this is the if and then block is going to go for the color sensor to, since my color sensor is in port 1, port 1, port 1. You always want to match that. Otherwise, you're going to be confused the whole time. And so I want this to detect black. You can change it to no color, black, blue, green, yellow, all these different colors, but I want it to detect black. Then, so if the color sensor detects black, then I want it to stop moving. So I just want it to stop moving. So let's go through it one more time. So first, I reset all my motors, every single one, this one and this one, because I'm not using my medium motor in this one, so I'm not going to reset. There's no reason to. So here, I reset B and C. These are there's different ports on the robot, A, B, C, and D. So my 2 wheels are connected to B and C. So I reset those blocks, and then I wait for 1 second so that there's no jump at the start of your program. And then we start moving straight at 50 speed. So we just keep going until forever. We keep going forever unless the robot detects black. Then it'll stop moving. So I'll show you a video. If anyone's confused, I can help you. I can explain this a little bit more as it might still be a little bit confusing, but this may clear it up for you, seeing how it actually works. See how that stopped directly at the black line? That's exactly what this is doing. Was that clear to everyone or was that still confusing?
It's clear.
Okay. So now we can go to the next slide.
Tips and tricks, programming. We recommend you don't use sensors to program any blocks. When you use rotations, one rotation is one full 360 of the motor, not the wheel. Same with degrees. If you set the degrees, it will turn the motor 90 degrees. All measurements can be in decimals for precise alignment. Put a weight block at the beginning of your program, as it will help prevent your robot from jerking. Don't use seconds since this is very inaccurate and the rotations and degrees are way more accurate than seconds. Another tip would be that you should not change your programs at the end of the competition unless something is in your robot that is completely wrong and there's no way it can work. But if it is just a little bit off from completing the mission, we recommend you keep it the same.
Okay. So this is a challenge for you guys. What do you think will happen when I run this mission? If your answer does not have to be for the whole program, as this can be a little bit much for your first day. It's okay if you don't get the answers right. This may look very complex, but this is very simple in real life. I'll show you this in a couple of slides, the real way of doing this. Or I'll break it up. Do we have any answers? You can raise your hand in the chat and I'll...
We need to see the picture.
Oh yeah, sorry. So what do you think will happen when I run this? Okay, so let's break it down. What do you think is this? What is this first block doing?
Does anyone have any ideas? We'd love to hear them.
When the program starts.
That's what it. So that's exactly what it is. So I mean, like it is right there. But this is saying that this is setting up the whole program. So this is starting everything. So without this block, your program will not run because there's nothing to tell your brick to do something. This is basically saying do everything underneath me. So this is saying do this, do this, do this, do this. Okay, is that good? That's good. Okay, so now we have, what is this second block doing? Just give an idea. Anyone have any ideas?
I think I might know.
Okay, go ahead.
I think it resets the degrees to 0.
Very good. It resets the degrees, sorry about that, of my media motor. Since this port, as I said, there's ports A, B, C, and D. So you did very good. That was a really good answer. But this specifically resets the D port, which is my media motor. You need to do this at the start of every program. So what does this third block do? Very similar to the second block, but what does this third block do?
I think this third block makes the two motors that move ports B and C.
Very good. That's it. That was a really good answer. That's basically what it does. Okay, so now what does this fourth one do?
Waiting 1 second so that it doesn't jerk.
Great, amazing. Good job, guys. So what does this fifth one do? I know this is a little bit more complicated than the first four, but what does it do? Any ideas?
Move straight for 2.5 rotations at half speed.
Great job. That was a really good answer. That's exactly what this one does. So what's this sixth block do? This one. Same thing as the fourth block.
It makes your robot wait for 1 second.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, so what does the seventh block do? It's very similar to the fifth block, except there's one difference. Anyone?
It goes reverse because it's -2.
Yeah, so good answer. But what I was looking for is that was a really good answer. So it does go in the reverse direction, but the robot won't go in a reverse direction since this is only moving one motor. See this is only moving one motor. So this can be a medium motor, large motor, and in this case it's my D port, and on my D port I have my medium motor, and so this is moving my medium motor counterclockwise for 2 rotations at 35 speed. Okay, so what does this do? This if and then block.
It like
It's okay to be wrong. You can guess. It's okay.
it like you basically just put something in the empty spot, and then if that happened, then then whatever you fill in it happens.
Great answer. That's basically the basic overview of this block. That was very good. But so does anyone know what's happening inside of this if and then block?
I might know.
Okay, go ahead.
When it like turns that much degrees, it will move right 48 for 2 rotations at 50 speed, and then move straight for 2.5 rotations at 50 speed. And then
So you got the 9 and 10. That was a really good answer. So, but for this, inside of this, we will reveal the answer in the next slide. Does anyone want to guess what 11 does?
It just
stop
stopped.
and exit the program.
You both got it right. Good job. Now we will answer the questions that, or answer this to what we wrote.
I think I know what the 7th block does.
This one?
Yeah, no, the one underneath it.
This one? Okay, go ahead.
So I think if the degrees that port D has moved, if it's less than 1,200, then it'll do the next few blocks.
Very good answer. That's exactly. You just got it on dot. That was perfect. That was really good. Exactly.
Answers. The first block starts the program. The second block resets the degrees and counts for the motor D. The third block sets the motor to B and C. The fourth block pauses the robot for 1 second. The fifth block moves the robot straight for 2.5 rotations and the motor at 50% speed. The sixth block pauses the robot again for 1 second. The seventh block moves the motor D counterclockwise for 2 rotations at 35% speed. The eighth block, if the degrees counted on the motor D is less than 1,200 degrees, then it will run the rest of the program in a loop. If the condition is not met, it will skip the loop. The ninth block moves the motor B and C right, 48 degrees for the angle, and 2 rotations at 50% speed. The 10th block moves the motors B and C straight for 2.5 rotations at 50% speed. The 11th block and the last block stop the program and exits it. This stops the robot. Now we can go on to the video. This is a demonstration of what our robot does for the challenge.
Okay, so live demo time again. But I don't think we need to do this since everyone got it. We got it perfect. So that was really good, guys. So as you can see, this is a very viable program for one of your missions. It goes out, runs the media motor to do the mission, turns around and comes back to base. This is very viable. Good job, guys. I don't think we need a real live demo right now.
Pseudocode. Pseudocode is written instructions for what your code should do. Pseudocode is simple and isn't supposed to be complex or too specific. It gives a basic outline of what each block or a set of blocks that your robot will use. You can make your pseudocode before coding and it gives you an outline as previously mentioned. This is important because at the tournament, the judges may not know programming, so pseudocode can make it very quick and easy for them to understand. Pseudocode can also make it easier to program because you know what blocks your robot is going to be using.
Okay, so this is the programming process. So you can first develop pseudocode. Then you can walk through the pseudocode. You can develop small segments of code in the software. So first, the pseudocode is like what you want the robot to do in English, and then you put it into robot term, which is the code. And then you test each of those pieces of code to make sure that it does what you want it to do. Then you put all of those segments together and you test the entire thing. Repeat this process for each program, or if something isn't working in your program, then you can repeat it too, because this is going to work every time. This is very similar. This is like one of the many examples of the engineering design process. So you guys can use engineering design process is very, very helpful in programming. So now we can take any questions that you guys have.
Yeah, if you want, if you have any questions, type it on Slido or unmute yourself and ask the question.
I think we had one question. After you download, can you run the mission? So as I showed you guys those videos, so what I did, let me just show you what I did. So what you can do to download is you have to connect your brick. So my brick is already connected. So in order to in order for your thing to actually run, you need to click this or you need to click this. This is gonna download your program onto your brick or your Spike Prime brick, and then run it, or this is just gonna download it. So in order for, I'll show you both. So this is gonna do this. See how that ran the program? Oh, sorry, the wheel's not on, but whatever. So this side, this is just gonna download it. And to answer your question, once it is downloaded, then you will get a screen similar to this. I don't know if you guys can see it, but if you can, then it's similar to this. And your programs will be listed from top to bottom, and you can scroll down to run different missions. And then you can just click the button, and it does the same thing.
We also have another question saying, is the older version obsolete? Yes, some computers may still have the older version, but for the most part, many people will probably not use it because the newer version, in our opinion, is way more easier to understand. But you can still use that version if you wish. That version is still effective.
So we can go into the Slido now. Oh, we did get some answers, but that's okay. Do we have any? Oh, we have a lot of questions. Okay, so is the, okay, we just answered that. This is where you type the questions, obviously. What did you do before you started coding? So I think you're asking like how we developed the program. So as we said, we used pseudocode to do this. So we wrote out what we wanted to do in English, and then we transformed that into robot language, if you. Shreya, you want to answer this one?
Sure. Which one costs more? The EV3 course that costs more by $100.
You've answered this question, I think, previous one. What are the missions? So a mission is basically something that your robot has to complete. So that can be from lifting something up, or dropping something, or taking something from the base out to complete the mission.
I think we already answered when can you use forever loop block. I think Arian answered that in the demo. How do you make the blocks connect? Oh, you just place each block under each other and you'll hear a snapping noise, and that's how you will know they can connect.
After you download, you can run your mission. As just said, you can run your missions.
What missions are in the competition this year? We are not sure since the first has not come out with the missions and have not told us yet.
But stay tuned. It's supposed to come out on August 4th, 2 days
Yeah.
from now. Or 3 days from now, actually, but still. So, do we have any more questions?
You can raise your hand or you can unmute yourself and ask.
Or if you need me to go back, August 4th.
And also, I think someone asked me what team I was in last year. I was on the Flaming Lego Legends. Are there any more questions? If not, we can move on.
Okay, I don't think there's any more questions. Yeah, there's no more questions in the chat either. So we can move on.
Next week, we will learn about, drumroll please, project. In this session, we will discuss what the project component of FLLC is and how to identify a problem, how to make sure that your solution is innovative, some tips for the competition and judging, and some samples from the previous year.
That's it for this session. But if you want to sign up for our other sessions, you can go to our website and sign up there. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. If you have any further questions or any comments, you can email us at helixhackers@gmail.com. And we will be sending out a feedback form, which we would greatly appreciate it if you filled it out.
Thank you so much for coming and listening to us. Have a great day. If you have any questions, we will be staying on and we can answer them for you.
Thank you guys for coming.
Thank you. Bye.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Goodbye, everybody. Thank
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Have a good day.